Hello, contractors, and welcome to Toolbox for the Trades. My name is Jackie Aubel, and today I spoke with Miranda Deschamps, the office manager at ServicePlus Heating and Cooling in Ontario. We spoke about leveraging AI to interpret your ServiceTitan data and talked about how her and her husband, Andrew, grew their business from the kitchen table. I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. Miranda Deschamps, you are the office manager at ServicePlus Heating and Cooling in Ontario. Today, we are going to be talking about taking a business from the kitchen table to a warehouse with 5 trucks. So basically growing a family business from scratch and leveraging technology to do it. I'm so happy to have you here today. Welcome to the Toolbox for the Trades podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I cannot wait to get started. But before we begin, I'd love to kick things off with an icebreaker. And Miranda, I would like to know what song, if any, would be the soundtrack of your life?
I am a Swiftie and a huge planner. So I chose Mastermind. Not that I am in any way scheming any bad things, but you know what? Our life looks very chaotic, but there's always a plan working in the background. So that is the song I chose for this round.
Okay, Miranda, this is going to be so. First off, some inside baseball here. I think I've mentioned to listeners of the pod before, they know I record these episodes in advance. We are recording on Life of a Showgirl Eve. How are you feeling?
I'm so excited. I wanted to throw in a few this is show business, baby, but I guess we'll see what the album's all about and whether it's appropriate for business, I guess, is the other thing to consider.
Well, whether or not you like Taylor Swift, people have to acknowledge that girl knows how to run a brand.
Oh, yes.
Well, we know what you and I are going to be talking about when I stop recording. But anyway, let's get back on track to the reason we are here. Miranda, I would love to know, how did you get into the trades?
My husband started this company when our second child was born. So I helped him out just in the background, setting up the website, different things like that. And he took on the majority of it until COVID hit. And then COVID, I kind of got thrown into it a lot more than expected, helping with the phones and onboarding with ServiceTitan. There was just so much going on at the time, especially with little ones running around. But yeah, we got thrown in.
Dang, I know. And you had a career in the medical field prior to going full in on your husband's business, right? Oh, or you're on your business.
Yeah, so I worked at a local hospital in medical records and HR. Then I moved over to a doctor's office working as a medical assistant. So definitely different than the trades. I've always been around the trades. Like my dad's an electrician, my brother's an electrician, not in the trades myself. So that was new.
So I always forget I wish I remembered to ask this question because I would just want to get a breakdown for the folks listening. Tell me about the type of business you do at ServicePlus Heating and Cooling. So HVAC, obviously, do you do a or residential, new construction? Like, what's the breakdown there?
So we mainly do residential, not a lot of new construction. If we do take on a new construction project, it's usually custom home builds. But again, we don't take on very many a year. Like our main thing is just the residential, more re and re. I handle our website, our marketing. I oversee all the office stuff. I handle warranties. Honestly, there's a lot under my umbrella. I run parts to the boys when they need it out in the field. I kind of just do everything but answer phones these days because I have a rock star in the office that does that. So everything else, though, pretty much is under my umbrella.
That should be your title. Your title should be anything but answering the phones. I actually want to hear a little bit about what it was like learning the trades business, like the office side of the trades. And I would love for you to tell me, like during these COVID times where you started taking on more at the company, what specific resources, training, or mentors were most valuable in like taking it to the next level and helping you establish a really memorable brand?
First off, ServiceTitan, like they have so many webinars. Like we joined the Torch Network. They have their lives every month, Ember sessions, Spark sessions, pretty much every webinar that ServiceTitan offered, we were on and learning from. Then you have Angie Snow. She's such a good resource of, not that I didn't know how to talk on the phone before, But just to take it to that next level, like she's so wise and caring that she cares enough to share her wisdom with all of us. So she's amazing. There's platforms like EGIA that also have training on it that we were a part of. Any marketing webinars that I could get my hands on, I was always ready to learn. And honestly, Andrew knows so much about the business, having worked in it for so many years before starting the company. So I learned a lot off him too, and different things and HVAC terms and all of that. He's really good to honestly open up our own furnace and say, this is what a pressure switch is, this is a blower motor, this is a flame sensor, and kind of break it all down so that we can see and we know what we're talking about on the phone.
Oh, that's nice. I never thought about it, starting up your own business, and if you're in your own home, you can literally go to your own units and say, "All right, let me just, like, walk you through with what all of who's it's and what's it's do, and all these screws and bobbles and all this stuff," which if you put me in front of them, I couldn't identify them for the life of me, so good on you.
It helps a lot. Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that you took advantage of the ServiceTitan webinars, which I also have a very, if anybody's listening, they probably who's a ServiceTitan customer, you probably know me and my team do a ton of those. So I'm so happy to hear that you got value out of that. And Angie, again, is the freaking best. Even before she joined ServiceTitan as one of our industry experts, she was always so gracious with her time and with helping other people. I say it all the time. One of the reasons I love supporting this industry so much is because everyone has such a desire to help one another and to lift the trades up as a whole. So continuing on this like learning moment of you kind of getting immersed into the industry, by the way, during a global pandemic and while raising two young children, we were kind of going back and forth when we first spoke, and you said there was this major learning moment where you crashed the company email for 2 weeks trying to do website coding. Personally, I would have probably cried for about an hour before I even had the bandwidth to do anything about it. And I would just like to talk candidly about what did that experience teach you and did you encourage your team members to view their own mistakes as learning opportunities and not failures?
Yeah, so that happened when there was a lot of change behind email marketing. So there were certain things that you needed to do behind the scenes with your emails, pointing to the website. So it's called a DNS record. And I thought I knew what I was doing, I guess is the humble thing to say. So I thought I knew what I was doing. I was making changes to it, and those changes take a couple days to take effect, and then if they're wrong, it takes a couple days for the fixes to be implemented. Obviously, I didn't get the few couple fixes. They didn't work properly. And so yeah, we lost our email for a good 2 weeks, which is super scary when you have clients and that's how they prefer to reach out to you. So, I mean, it definitely took us old school for a little bit where we were reaching out by phone a lot to clients, laughing with the clients about that. I was like, "I'm sorry, that was me. I thought I knew what I was doing, but didn't." I mean, it's definitely humbling, especially as a manager. So now when our team makes mistakes, because nobody's perfect, everyone's gonna make mistakes. That's often what I say. At least you didn't crash our email for 2 weeks. So, yeah, nothing can pretty much be worse than that.
So that was kind of like, is you like, you were like, there's no way that you could have done as bad as I did. And in some ways, did that like instill you with some confidence? Like, well, can never get worse than that was.
Exactly, like, you're just I mean, you learn from it. I learned a lot from it. Now I know to heavily research anything I do that is touching any sort of coding on our website, and nowadays we have, AI to also help us walk through and double check our work and all of that behind the scenes, so that definitely helps. But yeah, it was a learning moment for sure.
And we're going to get into AI in a second, but I want to kind of continue on this business that you and Andrew have been growing together for the last 7 years, starting at your kitchen table. Now you guys have a warehouse with 5 trucks. I want to hear about some small victories along the way that solidified your confidence and pushed the company forward.
We try to celebrate all the small victories. So every time we hire a new person, that to us is so exciting that we're expanding our team. Every time we, reach that new high of a sold estimate, we celebrate it. Definitely getting office space and not having it at the kitchen table was a huge win for us. So just seeing the growth over the years, even the office space When we first got it, it didn't have a ceiling. We have a ceiling now. There's definitely things that we kind of laugh about when we look back at and we're like, you know what, we were just starting out, and it's so exciting to see the growth and where we're going, and but also where we came from. And it I feel like keeps us humble as well, that we were just a small company. We still feel like we're just a small company and it's just a little family, but it's nice to see it over the years.
That's awesome. I think it's great to celebrate those small victories and celebrate those little milestones all the way on the way, because when you're grinding to build a business and to create a livelihood for yourselves and for your team members, I can imagine it can be so much pressure. Yeah, it's great to have your own business and not have to report to a boss, but when you're your own boss, now you've got a whole host of new issues that you never had to experience before. So I'm happy to hear that you guys were able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely stressful at certain times, that shoulder season, and you have these people that you just love so much and that have become family, and their kids are just as much family too. So you do worry at those times of year. So it's definitely, we say it's a different stress. You have your stress working for someone else, but when you become your own boss, you just have a different stress to worry about.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get into some technology stuff. So actually, before we recorded, this is well, we already dated the show. It is October 2nd, 2025, the day before Taylor Swift's new album comes out. But ServiceTitan's Pantheon just came through. I was there. You weren't able to make it, but you did participate in our hackathon. So I just want to kind of give people some context as to the way that you have kind of immersed yourself in the Service Titan software a bit and how you've leveraged it to really learn how to grow your business. So just tell us a bit what the hackathon is and what project you pitched to our team.
Yeah, so this was the first hackathon. I hope I get to participate every year because I got ideas beyond ideas. But basically, this year we submitted the idea of our job photos. Right now, we go through every single job when we're looking for something for social media content and trying to find those right photos that we can use for it. And it's extremely time consuming for me to do that. So our idea was to put them all kind of like in a bucket folder so that we could just skim and search it even by technician or by date. Or honestly, the team even took it a step further. We're like, we can add AI to this and have it look through the images for a furnace specifically or a water heater specifically, whatever we're kind of looking to market. So it was really cool to see it. We didn't win. I think we were second place. But it was so exciting to be a part of and see that development team and everything. That was really cool to see it all come to life. It was amazing.
To summarize, this was you basically partnering with members of the Service Titan product team to pitch like what adjustments should we make to the current product to make it better. And then you submit your pitches along with a couple other teams, and then a winner is selected, and that is the project that gets prioritized. But to be said, like your idea getting pushed forward, like you're still getting your idea and your concept in front of people that are responsible for the product's growth and development.
Exactly. Yeah. So then they had everyone attend a session, I guess, at Service Titan and vote on the ideas. So I was told we missed it by 6 votes. So we came in super close. So I am hoping I can put my little pin in it and it'll come out eventually, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I think it's so cool you worked on that. So let's get into a little bit about how you're using technology. You said you already consume all of Service Titan's webinars, which again, thank you. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I have seen your name on quite a few registration reports. So I'm glad that you have taken advantage of them. Right now, you are leveraging AI to analyze Service Titan reports and create a more organized inventory system. So calculating stock recommendations for different seasons. I would love to hear like a concrete example of a recent inventory challenge and how you used AI to solve it.
One of the biggest challenges with inventory that we found was setting up inventory templates. We found it so just time consuming. We were guesstimating on what should be on there, all of the things. So I was like, you know what? We have a super robot that can do all of this for us. So we downloaded the item consumption and item activity list for all of time because we've been with Service Titan since I think, yeah, 2021. So we had all this data just sitting in ServiceTitan and not getting used. So I downloaded that Excel file. I threw it over to ChatGPT, and the prompt was, I need you to analyze these Excel files. I need a list of items that we should stock regularly, either at the warehouse or on the trucks. And I want to stock items that we regularly move within every 30 days. And then also analyze the dates on this Excel for those and divide it up by AC season and furnace season. It popped out a little template. Obviously, we made a little small adjustments to it as we saw fit, but that was a huge undertaking that we normally would honestly, we probably still would have had put it off. It wasn't getting done otherwise. So that was that whole start that we needed to for inventory and service titan.
That's awesome. And thank you for sharing the specific prompt. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that paused and rewound, like, wait, what'd she do? Curious, again, this is very soon after Pantheon. Have you gotten any opportunities to check out the Atlas announcements that we made at Pantheon and what's coming down the pipe for all of the AI that's going to be built in Service Titan?
So I've seen a lot of the AI roadmaps just from all the webinars, and we participate in almost every beta as well. We love it. So I've seen some things coming. The Atlas thing, I know I saw a bit about like the name of it when they were trying to choose the name, but I'm excited to see where where it all goes because to have it directly in Service Titan is amazing.
Yeah, I think this use case that you talked about, this is where I think AI is really going to shine personally, is those those really specific tasks that you're like, oh man, if I only had a moment to analyze this data and to really like dig into it, I could probably make decisions that would make us more efficient. So it was kind of like hours of data analysis could save you maybe like an hour a month or something. But now with these prompts, it's really incredible. So I'm loving to hear how customers and how contractors in general are using it to give them just as much information as they can to run their business. And that's what I'm getting from you is like, I feel like you are totally like, you just have this student, this like forever, this learning mindset when it comes to operating your trades business. And I think that's something so commendable and something that folks listening should really think about how they're implementing at their own because so much technology is in the trades right now. And if you're not adopting it, you're probably going to start falling behind.
There's always so much changing and so much to learn. That's the thing. It's really hard to keep up, to be honest. Like there's just so much happening. And same with inventory. Like when we go back to using AI, it's something that I have a little folder in ChatGPT and I'm constantly checking because you know what? This year we might use more flame sensors than last year. So it's always gonna evolve and it's always gonna be, different. So we just have to stay on top of it.
I also want to hear about how you're using Service Titan data to negotiate with suppliers to level the playing field on price. A little hack here. So, what's your most critical piece of advice for other small to mid-sized contractors on how to use their data to reduce supplier costs and improve margins?
This was really the first year that we started doing this, to be honest. In the past, we were just like, okay, that's the price. Great. Move along. We'll go with the cheapest price, wherever that is. This year, we started going, you know what? Let's just see because it's always nice to have a backup worst case or just see where they do land with their pricing if it's a little bit cheaper. So we started reaching out to a lot of suppliers for the materials that we often use. And we say, hey, this vendor is giving it to us for this price. Can you match it or can you even do better? It's been helping, it's been working. So, water heaters was one. We went through all our water heaters, and now we have a couple companies that can do it for the same price. So, it's really nice to, if one has stock and the other doesn't or whatnot, we just have that to fall back to. And it's really helping. Like, we're in such a competitive market with the way the economy is right now and every dollar counts for the homeowner and for us. So it's just another added tool that now the price book already has everything in there and all the vendors that offer it as long as you're keeping that up to date. So then we're just reaching out to more vendors every chance we can and yeah, seeing what they can do for us.
I want to talk a little bit about, I thank you for sharing all of that insight. I think this is so important. Probably got a little bit more into Service Titan technically than we normally do on Toolbox. This may have better been suited for a Mastering Service Titan episode, but I'm glad we talked about it because like these are large conversations. Like the AI impact is happening in the trades. As business owners, you should be inspired to leverage these tools to help you become more efficient, help you save money and do all of that stuff. I would love to hear about how growing a business with your husband, raising a family, learning all these new skill sets for your own personally, how has it impacted you as a person and then you guys as a couple?
I feel like it has helped me as a person grow. Again, I love to learn. I take honestly, I call them textbooks on vacation with us, and that's what I read for delight. So that's something that if you would have asked me, 8 years ago, if I saw myself in this position and doing all the things, I would have said, I know nothing about website building. I know nothing about all this stuff. So I think that personal growth has definitely happened. As a couple, me and Andrew, we are truly just best friends and we have a great time together. And I think that's what keeps us sane. We know that we can laugh at certain things. And at the end of the day, we're a team and we're going to support each other. And I think that really works for us. And we love working together. Like if we weren't working together as HVAC, we said down the road, we still want to just work together because we're besties and that's just what we love. And as parents, I mean, our kids, they see us working in the business, they imitate us, they just love it too. And, like our daughter will get the headset on and pretend that she's taking phone calls. And my son, he'll sit at the desk, Andrew's desk, and pretend to give people orders. And, oh, you have to go do this many jobs today. And all the things. So they see it and they imitate it. And I hope that they also, if they want to get into the trades, that they can too in the future.
I would love to hear, what are you currently tackling at Service Plus? What's the next stage? What are you guys aiming for?
We have been doing a lot of KPIs, honestly, as a small business owners. It's something that we didn't pay a lot of attention to. More so, we just don't have time. So this year we were really drilling into it, just making sure that we're reaching our targets like we want to, job margins, all of that fun stuff. Also setting up SOPs because you know what? We didn't have operating procedures. So trying to work on that so that, that can also help our growth. We have been trying to improve the office. Yes, we put a ceiling in, a few years back, but it could use a little updates for when clients walk in. We don't get too many, but we're hoping in the future that we can get more walk-ins. So we wanted it to be presentable for them as well.
Well, Miranda, I have to say, I am very confident in your and Andrew's ability to grow this business to wherever you want to grow it to be honest. It's great talking to folks who have built using, like, who have scaled to like $500 million, of course. But I think like some of the magic is what's happening for you guys right now in this moment. Like you're still like you are on this kind of upward trajectory. And it's so exciting to see you. And I could tell from your energy, you love that you're doing this, you're passionate about it, you're excited about it, you love working with your friends. So I am so appreciative that we got to just sit down and chat for a bit. And I'm sure that the folks listening were just as inspired by your story as I was. Is there anything we should have talked about that we didn't get a chance to?
Make sure you have the right team behind you because, that makes such a huge difference. We honestly couldn't do it without our amazing team. And there's something that has to be said about that too. And we appreciate everyone that works with us because we feel like we're a team player. We're not the boss. We're just one big team trying to get to the end of the day. And we appreciate everyone.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me on Toolbox for the Trades, Miranda.
Thank you so much.